What's up? Shopify's quarterly report came in just yesterday, I think. I just checked it out and it's awesome. And also, this chart is crazy. And also, someone asked about Shopify in my last Amazon video. So let's do this thing. This is Brian Lewis with MMT Investing, and things just changed. So, Shopify has been on a rip for a while here. Yeah, forever. So they're crazy. This may even be a bubble. I could draw like a bubble chart on this thing. It looks like increasing trend lines and things like that. You get like kind of this kind of thing. And what's important right now is not if this is a bubble or increasing trend lines. It is where this thing is going at the moment. And right now, it looks like this is our trend line here. And that's a pretty deep little gash, but if you've been watching my last couple of videos, I've been circling these kind of W bear traps, and that helps draw the bull market trend lines because you get most of the action on top of the trend line, but that W-shaped bear trap is a good spot to put underneath the or kind of through. Usually, like the peaks of the bear trap are above it, and the points are below, like that. So that's usually kind of how a bear trap looks along a bull market line. And I don't know if this is one exactly. It's usually like a W that kind of follows the line, not like this thing. But anyway, where are we? 2020. Oh, very interesting. So we are. Where's the top? Oh, up here. Oh, okay. Okay, so I think sanity kind of stops happening here, and this got a Tesla bubble. It got like a little parabolic thing before the bubble blew off. All right, let's see what this thing is doing. Shopify, the SHOP, always smashing that like button right now to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. So we get a pretty familiar looking rip down. Five. Goodness, this thing is expensive, man. 550 down to 300. Okay, so that's a pretty that's a pretty textbook kind of rip on the way down. So the S&P, we got an A, B, C kind of wave down, and then we got kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of wave up here, and this got a really good bounce up above the trend line that we have here, and it got just a rip. It got a rip out of the bottom, and it got a super rip on the back half of this bull market line, and it is just way up here. And I guess you could kind of draw a top thing here. It looks like it's kind of getting to its exponential value again here. So I would start to worry about going long on this thing for sure right now. It looks kind of like a parabolic top area here. This is a good kind of a bull pennant shape for this move up here, but I think that we're in the S&P. We're gonna get a move down in the S&P, and this thing is not immune to a move down for sure. This thing gets really big moves down and really big moves up, and this thing is wild and crazy. What are the actual numbers here? Oh my goodness, yeah, this is like 300 to 7 something. Okay, I mean this thing kind of looks like Tesla going nuts or almost like the oil tankers. Like this is more than a 2x up from the bottom. That's huge. So this thing is really interesting, and we have maybe a month and a half left in our credit contraction cycle here, and we should be getting some moves up during this cycle. And I'll be tracking those on like my S&P videos, kind of the timing of those, and maybe the Nasdaq. Now I took a look at the dot-com bubble on the Nasdaq, and that chart is actually really helpful for the timing and like the points where things are reversing. It looks a lot cleaner. And so Shopify, I mentioned, has a killer balance sheet. Their balance sheet looks great. They have more cash now, and it was way more cash than they had debt. Their debt decreased, their cash increased, and now they have a pile of cash. So I think all these horrible conditions that are hurting most businesses are just fine for them. I mean, it looks like their revenues and their cash are going up in these conditions, and it's not it's not exactly like a sector that would necessarily do well in this kind of a credit contraction. I mean, that's kind of like a tech and yeah, e-commerce tech kind of thing. Well, I mean, as you can see here, it's not like just going up like this off the top of the bubble or something like that. I mean, it's crashing with the bubble. It's just bouncing really hard. So that's a cool thing to watch for, is if it goes down. I mean, I guess this thing could be an interesting short. If you think it's going to reverse kind of out of here, I don't know where the target would be. We have this line here, so it would probably be somewhere around this line. And it looks like well, through the whole crash, it looks kind of like a net kind of sideways. But we have this longer term trend here. So maybe, yeah, sideways or a little up maybe over the whole course of the crash. And if we reverse down, it's probably going to reverse below this and above it or something like that. Somewhere around, I don't know how to predict this thing. It's absolutely crazy, but I think a credit contraction down is going to pull this thing down pretty aggressively. So this is a scary one to short. It's been on a freaking hyperbolic bubble, and shorting a sort of a parabolic top is not it's not crazy to short a parabolic top, but it is kind of scary to short something that's going up. But we are in a credit contraction cycle, so not really shorting Shopify. It's just shorting this this part of the cycle. Look at this mess. Okay, this is a big mess. And I like Shopify a whole lot. I mean, this is going into that group of stocks to take a look at, like with the oil tankers and stuff, that's just getting huge jumps. And it's super volatile. This is really interesting to trade with options if it's making these huge moves like this. Um, put option on the down if it's there, and then if we can find a bottom and it shoots up, you can do call options on this thing and get big gains. I mean, you have to time it and get it right for sure, but I like this Shopify. I like this chart a whole lot. There's a whole lot of opportunities to get in here and trade it, and then I think this one is going to be absolutely outstanding when once we get to the end of the cycle and we get to a credit expansion phase after after this stuff. Once we get to the next cycle and we get 9 months of an expansion with variable growth, but I mean, this thing is probably going to be growing regardless of the general economy growth. I mean, I think this is going to be a killer good long for like a year at the end of the cycle. Really interesting swing trading through the cycle, super dangerous uh, vertical swing trading for the next month and a half, and then it should be just a great long after this. I really like Shopify a lot, and I'll take a look at Etsy. I did Amazon. Amazon's chart's a little more boring than this. It doesn't go like nuts like this, but those three have just really good business models right now for Uh, I mean, for the lockdown and the future of kind of brick and mortar stores starting to go out of business, like that just got accelerated. It's not like 20 years until the malls shut down. It's like 20 days. Like the malls are shutting down right now. Nobody can pay their rent at the mall. They're closing down the stores and the restaurants, and those things are just not going to reopen. They were going to close soon anyway, and now they just closed. They're just going to close now, and that's what's happening now. And these online shops, I mean, Amazon is the big monster, but any of these guys that are competing with Amazon, like Shopify or Etsy, for the online sales, are get just really interesting. And I'll take a look at Etsy here and maybe dig up a few more of these. Probably not today, but over the next week or something, I'll get some more of these kind of videos up. Shopify looks really really interesting. I like this. I like this chart a lot. I like this business model a lot. Um, and you hear about them all the time on YouTube. People put the Shopify like affiliate link and all that kind of stuff in there. Maybe I'll go do that later. You could click on my Shopify link or something. Um, I'm not gonna do that right now. So yeah, this is Shopify. This mess is Shopify. This is not investment advice. Please hit the like button, uh, so that I can try to get my YouTube algorithm up. I'm trying to get to 1,000 users to monetize this channel. I just kind of started this channel. It's been less than a month actually, and it's getting some good traffic, but I want to try to do a push here to get it monetized as soon as possible, so that I can get a lot more of this content up and keep it going. So please help me out to get the channel monetized, like and subscribe, and we will definitely be taking another look or two at Shopify as we get into some more interesting trading areas. I mean, this looks like a scary short, but it looks like a spot to short it there. To me, maybe it's that's crazy. That looks like a short. And then I don't know exactly where the long would come in. It would probably be below this yellow line though. I think if the credit contraction does pull down, I think a long on this is going to be down here somewhere. And we'll be taking a look at this thing again for sure. Okay. Okay. Oh, yep. I think it's about bedtime. And happy trading.